Hello again, everyone. This is American Idioms Part 73. This is the 73rd video in my American Idioms series, and like the others, I'll present 5 idioms to you numbered 361 to 365. But first, I'll give you a chance to guess their meanings. Then, I'll give you the answers along with an additional example for each new idiom. I also recommend that you pause the video at each question to give yourself some extra time to think of the answers. So, are you ready once again? Okay, here we go. Number 361. The gravy train. And the example is, Ricky has been on the gravy train ever since he got a job with the government. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is B, a position in which one makes a lot of money without much or any effort. And usually, if you have a government job, like in our example, it's pretty easy to make a lot of money without too much effort. All right? You may argue with me, but usually government jobs they're high-paying jobs, and usually the people don't work, let's say, as hard as a person in the private sector. All right? So that could be considered the gravy train. The easy way to make money. All right? Here's another example. My aunt was on the gravy train for the past 10 years, but this came to an end when her company went out of business last month. Now, she's having a hard time just finding another job. All right, so in this example, this person's aunt was on the gravy train. She had an easy job where she made a lot of money very easily. So it was the gravy train. But then her company went out of business. So she had no more job and she's off the gravy train, we say. Okay? Okay, now for number 362. Larger than life. And the example is, movie stars are usually larger than life to their fans. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is A, more important or impressive than the average person or thing. And that's what it means if something or someone is larger than life. Like in our example, movie stars. They're usually larger than life to their fans, right? They think they're more important and they're very impressed by them. So they are larger than life to them. Got it? All right, here's another example. I went to Yankee Stadium last week to watch a baseball game with my friends, and when we were sitting in the stadium, it seemed larger than life. All right, in this case, Yankee Stadium is larger than life. It's very impressive, and they felt that way when they were sitting inside it. It was very, very big, and they were very impressed, so it was larger than life. Got it? And now for number 363. To light a fire under someone. And the example is, if I don't light a fire under my team members at work this week, we'll never get our current project finished before the deadline. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer is C, to motivate someone to take action. And in this case, This person seems like they are the boss of their team at work, and they want to reach the deadline on time. So the boss has to find a way to motivate them, to light a fire under them, to get them to work harder. How's he going to do it? Right? He has to light a fire. In some way, he has to motivate them. All right? That's what it means. Like our next example. Someone must have lit a fire under Lucas because he was failing math in the beginning of the semester. But now he has the highest grade point average of anyone in his math class. So we find that someone motivated Lucas. Okay, in the beginning of the semester, he was failing math, but now he's leading the math class. So someone motivated him in some way. Could be a good way or a bad way. All right, maybe his parents yelled at him, right? Or maybe they offered him some kind of a gift if he did better at school. And now for number 364. To track something into some place. And the example is, I love our cat, but I hate when she tracks mud into our home when she comes in from the outdoors. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, to bring dirt or something else into some place on one's feet. Like in our example, the cat brings in the mud from outside, right? The cat goes outside, she gets her paws in the mud or the dirt, and then she brings them into the house. There are tracks, right? There's spots where her feet are. They're the tracks. So she tracks the mud into their house. Okay, that's what it means if you track something into some place. Like in our next example. You'd better take off your shoes before you enter our house because my wife gets really angry when someone tracks dirt into our home. All right, same situation as the cat, but they're talking about a person that should take off their shoes or they'll bring the dirt into the house. They'll track dirt into the house. Got it? That's how it's used. All right, and our final idiom, number 365. To coat something with something. And the example is, my wife coated our kids with sunscreen before we went to the beach yesterday. Can you guess the meaning? And the answer here is C, to cover someone or something with something, usually a substance. And that's what it means if you coat something with something. Like in our example, this person's wife put sunscreen on their children, okay? She coated them, right? She put a layer of something, we say, on something. In this case, it was the sunscreen on their children's skin to protect them from the sun. All right? Like our next example. It's important to always coat walls with a good primer before painting them. And like the advice from this example, you should cover the walls with a layer of primer before you paint them. So we use the word cover to mean the same thing as to coat something with something. So that's what it means if you coat something with something. Got it? That's all for this video. Thanks again for subscribing, and please like and share the video to support the channel. And Remember what I always say, keep practicing. See you next time.